video clip contains strong language and has therefore been rated 18 plus by the YouTube NECCA. Viewer discretion is advised.
سبحان فالق الإصباح.
Ding dong. Hello?
Yes, that's right, infidels. You found us here, channelattitude.com, Hameen Media Group, where you get the most real talk, the best reviews of all your favorite wrestling shows from AEW and WWE, Impact, and more, because we're going to break it all down with the best staff in professional wrestling at HMG. So you don't need to go anywhere else, because there's no 5 stars here. There's only $5 face slaps, infidel. Allahu Akbar! So sign up today, channelattitude.com, Hameen Media Group, and join the Hameen Army for the most real talk in professional wrestling. YOLO!
The PWC Network. What the world is watching and listening to.
Hello everyone and welcome to the PWC Extra. I am your host Jimmy T, and right next to me we have, he looks like kind of Zorro. I don't know what he's trying to do there, but Mikey M5, welcome to the Extra. What the hell was this, bro?
I don't remember when you were a kid. Remember when you were a kid, you used to make those owl-looking glasses or whatever. Now, because I'm older, I have no fucking dexterity, and I can't do it anymore. So
you gotta do it like this, bro.
That's what I'm trying to. I can't do
like
that. My wrists are too friggin' bound up.
You gotta. It's like the Ultimate Warrior fucking style with your hands.
Yeah.
Nah.
So I feel the power of the warrior. What's going on?
Well, what isn't going on in the world, in the wacky world of professional wrestling, Mike? I mean, I've got a little update with the CM Punk scenario. I don't know if you see me post on Hameen Media Group or the PWC discussion group, but there's a bit of news that's come out.
Fill you in.
I don't want to fill you in, if you know what I mean, Mike. But
fill me in without filling me, technically.
Yuck. That's feral, Mike. But yeah, I will fill to get it. Phil Brooks. Let's fill everybody in with Phil Brooks. Because, let me just get it up. But before we do start, Mike.
That may be a difficult task, buddy.
Jesus. Anyway, what the hell's happening with you? How you been, bro?
I've been all right.
Alright?
Yeah, can't really complain much. I'm doing okay. Shitty weather outside. It's doomy, gloomy, raining again, but it's all right.
Really?
I shot a cognac earlier and 2 ibuprofen, so I'm fucking ready to go.
It's freezing here too, bro. It was raining earlier. Oof. But I don't even know what cold is compared to you guys. Like I said, I've never ever touched snow in my life, bro. It doesn't snow where I'm at. Ever.
You've never seen or touched snow.
Never, bro. I don't know what that feeling is.
Wow.
I've
Well, I
always
can tell you
wanted
now
to.
what it feels like. Did you ever have a slushy or an icy drink? That is what your snow
Of
would
course.
be. Then there you go. So why they call it a snow cone?
Well, you know what else a snow cone is, right?
Yeah, piss. And I've done it a lot of times.
Anyway, there's also another snow cone. Is if you smoke weed and you sprinkle it with,
Yeah, that I would have no knowledge of.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to touch those type of snow cones. But anyway, we're not here to talk snow cones. But yeah, I've never actually touched snow or thrown it. Never. Nothing.
Wow.
I just want to fucking, like, everyone tells me you don't want to, bro. Trust me, blah, blah, blah. But I beg to differ. And my internet is going really skeef right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Wow, that was a delay. Fuck, not good. Well, sorry, folks, you're going to have to bear with me for whatever reason. I am getting third wheel country type of internet
This
right now.
is free. You don't have to worry about it. Just sit back, relax, and then when you can piece the words together that Jimmy does talk.
Right, it'll be like, because I'm AI, you know what I mean? It's third world country internet right here where I'm at right now. But
That's
anyway,
right.
as long as you can hear me right now, I'll get into it. But let's start with some CM
My hair
Punk
looks
news.
good. I like it.
It does. I mean, it does. It does. But actually, before I do get into the Punk stuff, we do have a question in the comments by our very own Chris Wheeland. He says, what do you guys think WWE is keeping the tag? You love asking this question, Chris. The tag team title bouts in 2 sets instead of just merging them into a new set of championships. Will they be split again? And how do you think they will be if so? You've asked this question quite a few times, Chris. And I don't know what to tell you at this point. But if they do split it, for me, if what I would do at this point, if you want to know that, first of all, I would probably just start a tournament for one of them. Or like have a Money in the Bank a ladder match, say. Where you got the belts on the line, right? But you can have 2 teams that win it. It's something different, right? So one team wins, one set of belts. Another team wins the other set of belts. And then voila, you have your fucking belts go back to the brands. That's the easiest way. Or you do what WWE just does. And who gives a shit? You just make a new set of belts. Pretend it never happened. And we just off to the races again. Look what they did with Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, for example, right? One was Raw, one was SmackDown, even though the one woman was Raw as the SmackDown champion, and the other one was SmackDown as the Raw champion. They just updated the belts and we pretend it never happened, right, Mike?
Yeah. Or I prefer 2 different titles, 2 different brands. It gives different teams time to work. On their specific brand, where they don't have to have or need any splits or any other gimmick bullshit. If they were to make about the tag titles where if they had to make or create
God damn it, my internet.
a new team with new belts, I would say do a battle royal type tournament or what WCW did with the Battle Bowl. Do it with teams. The winning teams becomes the tag team championship. I wouldn't make it because we all see gauntlets. They're becoming fucking boring.
Oh, I don't
That
want a
was
gauntlet
myself.
fucking match.
Yeah. If myself, I would make it like a Battle Bowl type match or scenario. But as of now, I would not do or think of a brand split.
Well, the problem here is though you got to. So if you go the way you just said, that means you got to strip them. You got to strip the tag champs 1 set of the belts if you're going to do it like that.
Yeah, but you have 2 different champs, 2 different brands.
Right.
Obviously,
but I'm
one
saying
is going to retain. We're doing this if, God forbid, there was a need where you had to create a new team or new titles.
But why a new team?
Why not a new team? A new team is winning the tag team titles, dude. I'm not talking.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. I see. I didn't hear that part. That's why. I thought you meant like actually a new team, legitly. Like,
well, they could do that, but technically, a new team would be winning the tag team titles.
well, yeah, I guess. At this point, Chris is funny, man. He also says, I'll keep asking about the WWE tag bouts, just like I'll keep asking where the fuck Wardlow, Lance Archer, Thunder Rosa, and Jade Cargill are. First of all, that's true. Wardlow, who the fuck knows? I can tell you one thing about Wardlow, though, Chris. Wardlow's been talking some shit about AEW in interviews about how he's not happy, how he's getting used and whatnot.
Good.
I don't blame him. Right.
Good. I don't blame him, but don't cry when it bites you in the fucking ass and no other company is calling you for work.
That's the problem. When you talk shit, when you bite the hand that feeds you.
I know plenty of fucking people that did that back in the day. Plenty of fucking people. And guess where it got them? Even in the 2000s. Fucking sitting home.
Exactly. Or in
and
catering.
These were people that were on WWF television during the whole cruiserweight fucking thing with Kai and Ty and Taka winning. I'll just leave it at that.
I chop your pee-pee. Well, see, Chris, so it's a double-edged sword, bro. It's either you, speak up, but then you're known as destructive and never happy and whatnot, then you get punished for it, or you shut the fuck up and hopefully they call you up eventually, you know what I mean? But yeah, you're right. And as far as Lance Archer goes, he's not happy either. I can tell you that much. As a matter of fact, because our very own John Enright is actually good friends with Lance Archer, and I can tell you that. I'll say that, heck. He even tagged me to get him booked in Australia. He wants to come to Australia again, Lance Archer. So,
but that's good. At least he's actively looking for work, because when you don't work, you don't make money. So guys like this had to, and it's really bad that he can't work in the supposed promotion, contract or not, he was supposed to have some kind of form of agreement with.
Well, yeah.
So when you're seeing Lance Archer on Memphis Wrestling on YouTube or other promotions that don't really have a solid TV viewing audience and you have to watch them through some form of an app, this is what's going to happen.
Right.
And there's, and I'm not going to name names, but there's lots of them out there. Trust me, I know. Look at my part of my name when it shows up of what I kind of do. So a lot of these wrestlers now are looking for other avenues and places to wrestle at. And thank God. I'm not going to say, oh, it's a great time to be a fan. No, it is a great time to be a wrestler because there's many different avenues and promotions out now to work. You just got to look for it and you got to apply. And that's what they're doing now. And I am very fucking happy that Impact is alive and existing. They had their 1,000th anniversary or 1,000 episode show.
1,000th anniversary. Whoa.
My bro was out there. My bro was out there repping Pro Wrestling Wear. He got comped, I believe. He was in New York. He lived it up, went to the Garden, had pizza. And I'm very glad my bro went there. My little man. I'm very happy and proud he went. And seeing it's guys like that, even the gear makers, when independent pro wrestlers or independent contracted wrestlers have places to go, it's a circulation everywhere for everyone. It helps out.
For sure, man. So, yeah, as I was saying, Wardlow's disgruntled, Lance Archer's disgruntled. That I can tell you 100% because I know that. Thunder Rosa, I have no fucking idea what's going on with her. I'm hearing rumors she's still injured and not cleared. I'm hearing other rumors where, the female... As far as
AEW, we don't know what's going on. As far as her, everywhere else, she's wrestling in other places.
So she's not injured. So she's cleared. They promised us she was going to be back on Collision. We still haven't seen her. I assume the female locker room don't really want her right now, as in, the current female locker room. So I don't have a clue.
I'm agreeing with you, but I'm just
this company.
I'm
going to something else.
I'm just going to add, don't be surprised if she's still going to be wrestling at other independents.
Right. And as far as Jade Cargill goes, Chris, she's due to be back any week now. It could be next week, could be the week after, but expected to be back any moment, literally. So she's coming back. There's no doubt about that.
All right, Jimmy. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
One more thing. He says AW sucking these people into long-term contracts and royally screwing them. Fucking Tozawa is getting more ring time than most of the AEW roster. Right, it's true. They need a heater, man, in AEW. And when I say a heater, they need... Look, Tony Khan is known, for example. He doesn't fire people, man. He just lets their contracts run out because he's a bitch. He
will also let people go. And what a lot of people don't know about
Not always.
What a lot of people don't know. I know that. Hear me out. I know. A lot of times people don't realize that it's either a solid contract like you were just saying where they cannot get out of under any way, shape, or form. Yet that depends on stipulation. But there's also contracts where, yes, they did sign, whether it's for a certain amount of appearance dates or not. Khan will let them go. It depends who the person is and what tier they are in that company.
Wait. Say the second part again. Why would he let him go?
Khan will let certain people go.
That's not under a long-term contract?
Right.
Of course.
And to you, and we had this discussion before because you had to clarify that to you, 1 year is a long term. And to me, that's short term.
No, it's short term. That is short term.
You had said long term on a previous stream. So
I don't know why I would have said that. There must have been a reason why I would have said that.
I don't know why, but you could go back and see it on a previous stream. But
I guess I would. The only context I would think of is because if they're on short term, a year is a long time for, like, instead of being per appearance for, right?
Well, right. But there are some people that will sign a so-called deal, okay? And it will be a so-called contract, but it's actually a per appearance deal. And
I know firsthand. I know wrestlers that have wrestled in AEW that I'm friends with personally, and it's not like that actually. For example, Greek God Papa Dog.
I happen to know some of the ones that do have that. They have a contract, but it's under appearances.
Well, GGP, who's part of Media Group, Conspiracy Horseman and whatnot, I know with him when he was there. He never signed a contract. He's good friends with Jerry Lynn, for example. Jerry Lynn just calls him up, "Hey man, we need you to come down, have a match and whatnot." That's what it is, man.
Bro, that's totally different than what I'm talking about.
Right, but I've never seen a contract for per appearance compared to, a normal contract.
Tony has ones that what you're talking about with GGP is showing up for the day and he wrestled. Okay. It's like what movie studios do with extras.
Yeah. I think he's a bit more than an extra. I mean, he's wrestled a few matches in AEW.
I understand that. Just like Dylan Bostic was supposed to as well, but he got screwed out of that.
Yeah.
Long story short, there are contracts that are not solid as far as money, deal, length of time. They do have ones for a certain amount of small appearances, and it's for a so-called amount of money. Tony does do those.
Well, the point of this was not about the contracts. It's more the fact that he doesn't fire anyone. It's a known fact that he doesn't fire anyone. He lets their contracts go, whoever it is. And then, there's even been wrestlers that have actually said this legitimately and said that I've tried calling Tony. He doesn't answer the phone. Doesn't get back to them. He just leaves it because the guy's a pussy, dude. He needs someone like a John Laurinaitis, like a Johnny Ace, right? That would be like, "Hey, pal, sorry to tell you, future endeavored." Like someone that's got balls to fire people, man, instead of TK being a little bitch. You know what I mean? So get someone that can run all that shit and has the balls to fucking do whatever. If he keeps going the way he's going right now, he's going to lose so much respect. He's got no fucking, what's the word? Social skills. His social skills are really bad, dude.
There's some people that can handle confrontation. There's some that aren't. It's being made obvious that Khan is one that's not able to handle any controversy or contempt or anything that would have to do with being a villain in a certain situation. That's all on Tony Khan because he's too good-natured.
Well, did you hear about, at a collision last week where he was apologizing for the CM Punk debacle and all that shit, right? Where he was explaining himself.
Right.
Apparently after, there was people just calling him, shut the fuck up. Fuck you, Tony. You were hearing all sorts of shit like that.
Right.
But apparently when he walked to the back, he started crying, bro. Yeah.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He's too good-hearted because that hurt him. Because in his eyes, he was their hero. He's doing AEW for them. He's not going to think his own fans, dude. He's not doing AEW for himself. He's doing it for the wrestlers, for the fans.
He's doing it for himself, bro.
Not all purely for himself. Okay, so for him to cry because his fans are turning against him, that's on him, and that truly hurt him. He couldn't handle it. He got very emotional. He's too good, kind-hearted. Well, that's how it is.
Well, he's in the wrong business, man, then, if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? If he thinks this is trouble, he ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till they're even more established.
No, he hasn't. But to say you felt your life was in danger, you're going to die, you're this, you're that. Dude, he would have felt 50 times unsafe walking through the ECW arena. You looked at somebody the wrong fucking way, you're getting stabbed.
But apparently he used to be always at the ECW arena for most ECW shows, as a matter of fact, bro.
But that doesn't mean he had to feel threatened or not. Maybe he traveled with personal security, plain clothes. Maybe his friends, maybe they had some shivs and knives and stuff in their pockets. You never know.
Oh, God.
Tony's not going to say, hey, guys, I'm walking with people that can protect me. He's not going to walk around and say
that. Snap my fingers.
Well, that too. But he's not going to walk around and advertise it. He's going to try to look like an ordinary Joe and enjoy a wrestling match.
I'm assuming they're playing. If he did have that, just say, which wouldn't surprise me, they would have been plainclothes fucking dudes for sure. They would have to be. Imagine walking into the ECW arena with legit security, like legit, like.
Well, they have to do is.
I'm talking about, proper.
Well, yeah, and I've never seen anything like that there, unless it was just Atlas security in general, but.
And Atlas are hard asses, bro. Those fucking motherfuckers were hard. And what happened to Atlas? Weren't they also the AEW security? They're not anymore, it seems.
Nah, not AEW. No, they're still doing private security for certain events.
When AEW first started, the same dudes that were at the ECW arena back in the day for ECW were doing AEW for like
until they started touring more, and it became too much. From what I am understanding.
Who would pay for their travels? Would it be AEW or do they?
AEW would have to. AEW would have to fund the money for Atlas to find a way to get to the venues.
Right. So why would it be too hard for them to get around at the end of the day? I mean, really, they only travel amongst. Most of the times, they're always around the Northeast, generally, right? And then they'll do Florida all the time, and then they'll go to LA a lot. You know what I mean? And that's about it.
Well, when you start hitting other towns, cities that are in the middle of America, then that's probably when it could become a bit of a trifle. You do need manpower. Hotels are needed. You have to have rental vehicles to carry your team. I feel it's easier for them to use actual event security than a touring security firm.
Well, yeah, I think they still got a touring security firm because you see the same guys, like especially that big dude with the beard.
He's one?
Always around at AEW. Like they still use a touring security team, whoever they are right now. But it seems like it's their own sort of security because they're wearing AEW shirts.
Well, if it's their own, they're smart. They need them.
Right, for sure. Anyway, let's get into the fucking news. Because like I was saying, I've got some CM Punk news, and this is what's going down. So following their recent interaction at the Cauliflower Alley Club, wrestling announcer Joe Dombrowski wrote the following about CM Punk. Now, he was hanging out with CM Punk at the Cauliflower Alley Club.
I read it.
He's Right. Well, this is for the people.
All I'm going to say is this. Wait.
Let me finish it first and then say it. because then you're giving it away. Anyway, I have no interest in the rumor or hot takes. All I can say is it was great to see CM Punk for the first time in 18 years at the reunion, and he was great to everyone. I hope whatever he does next allows him to have many more days as the CAC version of Punk, as opposed to what's written. I have no comment or opinion to offer on the online rumors and innuendo. I certainly have zero interest in hearing your hot takes, no matter which side you agree with. All I'm here to say is CM Punk was incredibly gracious, personable, and courteous. His entire time at the Cauliflower Alley Club last week, it was the first time in 18 long years since I've seen him, and was shocked he remembered me, even though he said he's known me since I was 8. It was more like 17. Whatever Punk does next in life, I hope it gives him the opportunity to have many more days of being the CAC version of Punk, as opposed to what's written about elsewhere. Anyway, he goes on to say, elsewhere I've seen others attempt to summarize Punk's current relation with prominent wrestling journalist Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful. Many won't care about the following points, so feel free to hop off here if need to be. And he goes on to say this. Sean Ross Sapp says he's been in contact with Punk for months, which sometimes results in answers and other times it doesn't. Also revealed he and Sean Ross Sapp mutually hate talking to each other. There were times where Punk was very open about, I hate this place in AEW. Doesn't surprise me. Sean Ross Sapp also claims he's never spoken to the Elite on any of this. He was able to speak to Punk about Brawl Out. Punk was apologetic, but felt like it wasn't to blame. He wasn't to blame for Brawl Out. Punk would also message Sean Ross Sapp and ask if any lies were being told to him. Punk told Sean Ross Sapp once again his side of Brawl In, but certain other people didn't really back up Punk's story. Mox and Punk ran into each other at the airport and pretty much shrugged each other off, and it seems there's still heat between the two of them. Punk was in very good mood after the fight with Jack Perry, apparently. Sean Ross Sapp hasn't heard back from Punk after congratulating him for the Cauliflower Alley Award, and don't expect to ever hear back from Punk ever again. Sean Ross Sapp also hasn't heard from Jack Perry, but SRS also feels like Punk didn't care if he was going to get fired. Punk also told Sean Ross Sapp that if he was raised to not talk he was raised not to talk to dirt sheets, but he talked to Sean Ross Sapp. He talks to Nick Hausman, which we already know, of House of Wrestling, and had Mike Johnson of PW Insider host his StarCast panel. FTR never really spread anything, as Dax will just say his opinions out loud on a podcast, and Cash is pretty much whatever when it comes to getting involved. And apparently, last but not least, the incident with Regal happened at Revolution, where Punk was getting stitched up, and Regal approached Punk and wanted to know why he didn't shake his hand. After some back and forth of Punk wanting to talk about it later, Punk eventually snapped at Regal. And that's that.
Okay.
So now you can say what you have to say, Mike.
Well, all I was going to say first before you started was one. Whoever wrote that is from somebody outside of the United States. So how do you know what he's quoting?
I know who Joe Dombrowski is.
I'm not talking Joe Dombrowski. Whoever put up that post is from overseas. You could tell by the spelling. So while they're quoting everybody and their dirt sheets, how do you know what he was told was 100% accurate? He's not just fucking putting it on that post. That's one. Two. As far as Punk and Regal, if you were being constantly nagged, yo, why don't you like me? Or whatever the fucking problem was, that Punk said, can we talk later? 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 See what I was probably just saying was annoying you? Right. If that was Regal, I would have snapped too if I was Punk. Punk should have said what he did? Probably not. But he's saying it out of the heat of motion, out of the heat of the moment through passion. So, I mean, that could be understood. Whether or not Regal has his feelings hurts, that's on him. As far as who Punk talks to or not, that's on Punk. He doesn't have to talk, quote unquote, to dirt sheet writers, but there's a difference between talking to a dirt sheet writer and being cordial. Right. Huge fucking difference. Whether it's Sapp, Mike Johnson, anybody else.
True.
You know, he is going. See, I'm not going to say what he did was right or wrong. We say he handled it how he felt it should have been handled. So wherever he goes next, that's on him. As far as Joe Dombrowski, he's just saying how he felt.
Right, I find it interesting though that he would go that far in saying that shit.
Well, he's going that far because obviously he has a good relationship with the guy. And he's not going to get all caught up in the bullshit because of the events that happened with the CAC.
True.
And I don't blame him. I wouldn't have let it either.
Well, apparently he was very good at the Cauliflower Alley Club, so I don't know, man, but I find that interesting. But also,
well, of course, you got to remember he's there with a bunch of legends and everything too. He's not going to come in and act like a fucking dick, twirling a fucking yo-yo at everybody's head.
Well, fuck. Well, also related to all of this, obviously, I'm sure you've heard this. Ace Steel also got released from AEW once again.
Oh, well.
Surprise, right?
Oh, well.
You know why I'm back? What? Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No. That's all right. Go for it.
Well, I mean, all right. Only people like us are really going to know who Ace Steel is, or really hardcore wrestling fans. So when people say, "Oh, he's been let go again," I'm saying to myself, oh, "Okay, fine, that's nice," because nobody else is really going to know who Ace Steel is or what he does or who he may have trained unless people do digging. So again, that's type of dirt sheet crap nobody needs to fucking know.
Right. No.
You know,
I agree, bro.
And it's not me saying the guy's no good. He's never done anything. He didn't do anything for AEW. Apparently, he was part of the creative or whatever or whatnot. But okay, fine. He was released again. That does absolutely nothing for me. And Jimmy, he's coming back. He's alive. There we go.
Sorry, Mikey, my internet, man. Fucking hell. But yeah, you were saying?
I already finished what I was saying.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, I didn't catch that last bit, but I'm glad. But anyway, you're right. Fuck Ace Steel anyway. Only the hardcores will know who he is. But still, I find that kind of interesting. But also,
I mean, does it suck that they have to fire the guy because he's associated with Punk? Yes, I left that out. If they're getting rid of Steele because of his relationship with CM Punk, solely for that, or maybe what may have happened in the past, which again is what in relation to CM Punk, then I think that's kind of fucked. To make the guy lose his job over that.
Yeah, well, don't bite people. Simple as that, right? If you're supposed to be an employee, you can't just be that biased, obviously. But
it
is what it is. Ace Steel's a weird cat, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's like he's got rabies. But anyway, sticking with AEW news though. Dave Meltzer reported in this week's Wrestling Observer newsletter that AEW's All-In event. Well, listen. Meltzer reported that All-In's cable television pay-per-view buys were up 37.5% apparently, compared to these past June's Forbidden Door 2 event. While their streaming buys were not up at the same percentage level, AEW's late buys for All-In reportedly were well ahead of the pace of most of AEW's pay-per-view events, apparently. Meltzer also reported that based on the current estimates, All-In is currently expected to end up generating the second highest ever pay-per-view buys for an AEW event in AEW history, Mikey. Only behind All Out 2021, which generated around 215,000 buys in total. In regards to All Out 2023, Meltzer reported that the event is currently estimated to have generated between 73,000 buys to 96,000 buys. And Meltzer also reported that the one big reason for his lower end number estimate is due to only 38% of those who had purchased All In had also purchased All Out 2023. Meltzer goes on to say that one big reason for his higher end estimate is due to the streaming buys for All Out 2023 were at a much higher percentage than all-in streaming buys. Meltzer also reported that another key factor that will influence how much of the movement there will be involves how well or not the late buys were for All Out 2023 once those numbers are more known next week. Anything to say about this, Mikey?
Yeah. He's full of shit.
I can understand the all-in maybe being close to breaking shit because it's, you know, it was such a huge event for them, right? But
Well,
I just don't. I know TK already lied on his press conference when it came to the all-out pay-per-view buys. He said it was over 100,000. Meltzer's reporting a lot less.
Right. Well, the only way to find out is Fight has to actually release them, and Fight most times does not do that because they protect their client. That's why nobody can actually and accurately find out NWA pay-per-view buys. So that's one.
NWA buys would be pretty on the low end, bro.
It doesn't matter. They're still not being released. Nobody knows. So again, everybody has to estimate. If they had
big numbers, they would tell you. They would tell you. There's no doubt about it, bro. They'll be bragging about it.
NWA would have to release that, but AEW is doing that anyway. So you figure from all in, all right, I guess that was at Wembley.
Yes.
If the person's paying around $50, and let's say there's 100,000 buys from Fight, I guess that's going to be what? Over $5 million, depending how many you're going to get between 5 and 8 million from that. That's very good.
Wait. For what event did you say?
All in.
5 million. Apparently 5 million was the gate that they got.
I'm talking about 100,000 pay-per-view buys from Fight.
Right.
At about $50 a piece.
Keep in mind, though, Fight get a big percentage from that.
Okay, it's grossing over 5 million just for 100 grand. That's gross. That's not net takeaway. Dude, that's not net takeaway.
I know. Gross, I know. Before tax. I know, I get it, trust me.
Or before Fight.
Well, in this case, yeah. But still. I'm sure they're paying taxes though, Mikey. So it is.
Well, yeah, that's all, right. That's all afterwards. So that's why they need more than 100,000.
All in, I can definitely agree with that. All out, I just don't see people. I don't see that number being anywhere near 100,000. If that's the case, I'm shocked.
In this day and age, where many people could just find a site to watch something on.
And there's that too, right?
Right. That's also what's killing. And Tony needs to, and I don't know if he's doing this or not, but he really needs to do what Dana White does. Send out the hounds to track down all the people showing the streams and send that bullet through and knock it out.
They do that. You know how many times I've had to restart my stream all the time, but it's hard to and even UFC, I can still watch it for free without paying for it. You can't knock them out all the time, bro. You can keep trying. They just keep reappearing. There's not much you can really do about it, man, especially on Cody. Do you know what Cody is?
Cody's in the WWE.
No, yeah, not Cody Rhodes. Cody with a K, Kodi.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Cody.
Right, that's an app that was made for the Xbox originally, right? To play like emulated games and burnt games and shit like that. You know what I mean? But now it's used to actually watch all this illegal television from worldwide. Like I've got it on my Xbox, for example, and I can watch anything. I've got every channel around the world. Even though I don't use it, I use my actual cable provider, right? Because it's the most stable, obviously, right?
Obviously.
But if I need to use that, it's fucking pretty good, dude. It actually has become so much better. And pay-per-views recently haven't been an issue, you know what I mean? But I watched All In legitly because my cable provider legitly actually, I don't know what rights they paid for it, but they showed it for free. I didn't even have to pay.
You're lucky. Us in the United States, we got to pay $50, $60 for an AEW event.
Right. For All Out, I had to pay, right, for it, but not for All In. I don't know what deal that was, which was a pleasant surprise.
You're very lucky.
Chris Willen says, do you think the media scrums are not helping AEW? Does not seem like it. Chris,
They're not meant to help.
It's not helping AEW. Technically, it's not, but I love it.
They're meant to solely for entertainment purposes. That's it. They're not
But
meant
it's
to.
not. That's the problem.
Well, it's not helping them, but yet they're not.
Yeah, but AEW. No, continue, because there's a bit of a delay, man. So that's why it sounds like we're cutting each other off. But continue, Mikey.
Media scrums are supposed to be informative for news media. Whatever's going to be divulged is going to be divulged. Khan usually does that at the very, very end. He'll have a serious talk. Majority of the scrums, start to finish, whoever he has out there, it's solely entertainment, if you can't tell. They're not there to talk all business and practices. They're there to try to sell a product with gimmicks of their characters. That's why you'll see MJF.
But they're not doing that. MJF is one of the few. Christian is one of the few.
Right.
But most of the others, they break kayfabe left and right.
And that's their fucking problem. And Tony needs to tell them, hey, don't divulge as much. But when you're living in a marked social media age with people out of the indies automatically thinking they're over because they're on AEW television, this is what you're going to have. It's not like watching a WWE post-conference. I'm not even going to call it scrum. I hate that fucking word, a scrum. It's a post-fucking conference, post-event conference. You don't see WWE doing that. Everybody stays
sometimes,
in their
like
character.
Cody will sometimes go off the cuff. It depends, but not that off the cuff like AEW off the cuff though.
Cody will go,
like they won't totally break character.
But Cody does it for his own purposes, for what involves him and the company. He's not divulging secrets and all kinds of shit like AEW staff will, their wrestlers, or Khan will at the very end. So their scrums are just purely entertainment. I don't feel they're meant to be really serious.
Your internet is so bad.
Huh?
I can't do this show.
What's going on? What's that? What happened?
Fuck. Sorry, everyone, by the way. My internet is really turning to shit.
That's all right. See,
off.
That's fine. You do it like that for now.
I know, but it sucks. It's throwing me off, bro, a little bit. But yeah, what do you do? I'm gonna keep it as a pro and keep going, but still,
the show must go on.
If I cut out, just keep going, Mike. You keep talking shit, whatever you have to do. But yeah. Anyway, what was the last bit you were saying, though, man?
That the scrum is not meant to actually be of any importance.
Right, but I like it. The AEW one's always entertaining because you don't know what you're going to get. Does it help the company? It sure doesn't. Right, it really doesn't because, again, you don't know what's going to happen with their media scrums or press conferences, whatever you want to call them. WWE, on the other hand, is very much more controlled. And if someone does start going off the cuff or if they're getting asked questions where they're starting to get uncomfortable, WWE, they straight away will be like, last question and out of here. Like they'll get them off stage.
Right. And that's the huge difference.
Right.
Tony won't do that.
Tony's a weird. Someone tell Tony not to drink his sodas in the middle of this fucking press conference. Have you seen the way he sucks that shit down, bro?
He also does it because he's nervous. Because he's nervous and his throat is dry.
It cringes me, bro. I get embarrassed seeing him do that shit. And he has his coffee right next to him, too. Like, so he gets his coffee and his fucking soda. He'll scull his soda like a fucking weirdo straight away. And then he'll open up his fucking cup of coffee. Like, always takes off the top part, you know what I mean? So he can just, I don't know, look inside of the cup and whatnot. I don't know, man. He's a weird cat, but it is what it is. Chris also says, no one remembers Collision in Korea with 100,000 gate. Biggest event, my ass. AEW does Steiner math. Look, 81,000 paid people. I still don't think that's the biggest. whatever. But as far as Korea goes, collision in Korea, let's be honest though, Chris, they will fucking pretty much had a fucking AK-47 pointed at their heads to turn up. You know what I mean? They were forced to watch professional wrestling, if anything. Not that I could be complaining, but still.
Right. I mean, if you want to get technical, that was the largest pro wrestling event, but it wasn't largest paid attendance. They were told.
No one paid.
Right. They were told to fill that arena, but technically it was the largest attended because they were forced to attend. You had 100,000 people in there. All in.
Right.
All right. 81,000 supposed paid. And I knew they were going to do a number like that that's only a few thousand more so they could say they beat WWE. But to say you had to give that many thousand of comps.
Yeah. They claimed it was 91,000, Mikey, right? The overall number. So 81,000 paid, the rest were comps.
So that's like 6,000 or 7,000 in comps.
Do you believe 81,000 paid?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do too, only because there's a lot of people that actually say that. But even if that is the case, right? Would that still be legitimately the biggest wrestling event that people have actually paid? Like 81,000
Pro wrestling, as of now, yes.
Pro wrestling.
Right, but listen, a few days afterwards, I think it was Nebraska women's volleyball team had 90,000 at attendance.
That's different, though. I'm not talking about that. That's weird, though, bro. I don't know why so many people turned up for fucking women's volleyball. I get the college
right
shit, but come on, man. Women's fucking volleyball? Come on, bro.
I know.
That's fucking whack. But anyway, we're not talking about other sports. This is strictly professional wrestling. In terms of professional wrestling gate, is it the highest paid attendance in the history of professional wrestling?
I'm not going to say in the history. I'll say recorded history.
Okay, interesting. But you're sort of in the middle still.
As far as pro wrestling.
Right. Just pro wrestling. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. It is what it is. If it is, good, congratulations. But the adjective there is 81,000 paid fans, right? You know, they keep using that remark instead of saying it was the biggest crowd. Like, that's why I'm a bit iffy about it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they were also saying that number because everybody remembers the number that WWE WrestleMania kept on doing, or WWF. Was it
WrestleMania 3 you're talking about?
Yeah, they kept on saying that number. So this is AEW's way of counting that.
And I don't understand why they're saying that shit because, first of all, WrestleMania, one of the 30-somethings, was it 33, 34, 35? The one at Texas Stadium got over 90,000 people, bro. That smashes the fucking WrestleMania 3 attendance.
I know.
So,
but everybody remembers because everybody remembers their WrestleMania attendance number, just about. By all in keep saying what they are, that's a way for them to prove to people they're a competitor.
Whatever, man. TK can think whatever he wants. And you know what I will consider a competitor? Once they break at least over 1.5 million week in, week out. Right now, they ain't competing for shit.
And there's no need to compete. They need to keep themselves separate. But if they're not doing anything to draw anybody in to watch, it's reflective every week.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're booking to the marktards, bro.
They're booking to them, and they're also booking to their own likings. So if Khan is doing the booking, he's booking to his own likings on what he feels his own AEW audience wants, or anybody who may just be turning in on the Turner Network.
Well, if they're just tuning in for the first time, they're going to tune right out, bro, if they see this garbage.
I know a lot of people that have. I've had company.
Well, there you go.
And her kids will be wanting to watch as I invite them over, whether it's a pay-per-view or a Dynamite. They're really not interested because once that they see how phony it looks across the TV because they're watching a WWE product, right from there, they tune it off. The kids don't want to see people that look like the size of them. That was one of the other complaints. So,
well,
but anyway, we're here to talk about news, not compare who likes what.
No, that's still news. It's still relevant, Mikey. It's still relevant, bro. So it's relevant. This is the show where we talk anything goes. Hence the extra. But yeah, we also talk about the news, but it's still news because we're talking about attendance and whatnot. But anyway, speaking of the news though, there's more reports, and we're still sticking with AEW because all the news is coming from AEW's end right now. And the latest report on CM Punk's AEW exit includes the Young Bucks' condition for a meeting and a legal letter over BTE. So this one again is from Dave Meltzer in the newest Wrestling Observer newsletter, by the way. So it will spark debate for that reason alone. Beyond that, let me start again. Another report on CM Punk's time at AEW in the wake of Tony Khan's firing him last Saturday for incidents which occurred August 27th backstage at All In. This one is from Dave Meltzer in the newest Wrestling Observer newsletter, so it will spark debate for that reason alone. Beyond that, it includes a couple of items which will likely be used in discussions and arguments about assigning blame for this whole ordeal to Punk and/or Matt and Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks regarding a meeting between Punk and the Elite, which the former apparently believed was going to happen in Georgia, apparently, at August 23rd's joint taping of Dynamite and Collision, and that Kenny Omega and the Bucks either never agreed to or never even knew about, Meltzer writes. That he's confirmed, apparently. The Elite were never approached about the meeting because AEW officials knew they'd turned it down. So how did they know? One person very close to the situation said that the Bucks had said if 6 months went by without any issues, they would have been willing to sit down and work with him, apparently. That 6 months without an incident condition was set before several talents were banned from attending Collision and before the disagreement about Jack Perry's use of real glass at a Saturday taping, which led to Perry's shot at Punk on the All In pre-show and their subsequent dust-up in the gorilla position at Wembley Stadium, which was also before. The AEW also informed the Elite about a legal letter it received from Punk's lawyers, alleging that a skit on the Young Bucks' long-running YouTube series, Being the Elite, violated the terms of a non-disparagement agreement Punk and the Elite signed after their own altercation backstage at All Out in 22. Evidently, it was from a BTE skit that was the storyline that had started years earlier about Matt Jackson screwing up an endorsement deal and was brought back when he had secured some sort of another deal that was going to make them all rich, only to have that screwed up, and even with their new contract, they were left broke and couldn't retire even if they wanted to. This is funny. And they were all furious that they could never leave wrestling, and in the skit, they wanted Matt to apologize for screwing up, as Punk's name was never mentioned. If Punk felt he had to keep wrestling for financial reasons, which is something I've never seen reported, you could see where he might think that storyline was about him, and even so, it seems odd to get upset about that after both sides had previously made more obvious references to Brawl Out and each other, which is true. And Mikey, I feel like CM Punk's a little bit of a hypocrite if he's upset about that.
Yeah, to me, that's frivolous bullshit. I mean, he can think it, but to send a letter over it, that's frivolous shit, dude.
I have no idea. I'm just reporting what I'm seeing, bro.
Oh, I know, and I can tell you exactly what it's from because I actually seen part of that clip.
I just told you. It was from fucking Being the Elite and Meltzer.
I know that. However, what was actually said on the clip, Jimmy, was Omega with the Pepsi bottle. You can tell he did.
I saw that.
Okay, so you saw the clip.
Yeah.
Okay, what were his words?
About how it was like rock hard, apparently, or something like that. And he needed a Coke. They went to the dinner and they had Coke instead of fucking Pepsi.
No, wrong.
Yes, they did.
He said this stuff is terrible. It tastes like hard. Lighter.
Oh, lighter fluid. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but then they went to dinner right after that part and had Coke instead of Pepsi.
Right.
Right. You're telling me, no, that's not what happened, but that's what happened.
Oh, I was trying to convey to you the line that you said, oh, yeah, lighter fluid. That's the part of the Michael Jackson I'm getting to.
That's not the part that they've got a problem with, though, or that Punk has a problem with. That's
right.
Not from that.
I understand, but I'm mentioning the part with the lighter fluid, so those who haven't seen it don't know what was said, what could be referenced to Michael Jackson.
Right, but again,
his hair was on fire.
I know that, but come on, it's a lot smarter than that. They're not idiot.
Well, listen, look who we're talking about, and look who's reporting it that got it. And look at who is the other one now that is going to send a letter.
Right, that's why I said he's a hypocrite, if that's the case. But it's not because of that segment, though, on being the elite. That's not what they're upset about. It's got to do with another segment. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I saw that. I was not watching it. It was in the background as I was about to do a show. So I kind of was listening to it and kind of was going in and out of it. But anyway, the point is, I don't know if it's bullshit or not, but if it's not and Punk is legitimately upset, look at all the references Punk was doing on television as soon as he got back.
He was doing it too. However, I feel those were cleared. Or,
I don't know, bro.
If he did say them, he was wondering if there would be any circumstances afterwards. Probably there wasn't. Right. Khan didn't give a shit.
I don't know about Khan, but I know Punk didn't give a shit.
Well, Khan obviously didn't give a shit either because Punk kept continuing with his digs as time went on.
Right, and I think that's when, you know, the roster that hates CM Punk started sort of banding together to get rid of him, or Punk legitly, you know, was trying to get himself fired for, you know.
I don't think he was trying to get himself fired at that point in time when he came back, and he was saying that stuff.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me either, dude, because think about it. Right before he came back, he went to WWE to visit. Why would you do that right before you coming back to AEW? That's stirring the pot, bro.
Right, because he could, for one. Two, he knew people there. Maybe he wanted to settle some personal differences.
Which apparently
he went right. So he doesn't have to have a specific reason.
It just looks bad when you're part of AEW, bro, at that point, you know, in my opinion.
You know, listen, throughout the years, you know how many times people from other promotions have been backstage somewhere?
I know, but this time, more like right now, it's way more than ever. Man, you didn't see WCW guys turn up backstage at a WWE event, bro. I'm just saying.
They didn't show it, but that's who's to say they weren't there?
I didn't hear shit back then. And I think it was more complicated back then.
Yes, and that's exactly why. Now it's not as complicated. But what's to make you think,
bro? There's cameras everywhere. Like Ricky Starks when he turned up to the Rumble with Cody, for example. Are you telling me he didn't get heat for that? I think he did. Because he was getting depushed. Yeah, for sure.
It's just like you never know who's on the independent scene that used to be part of WWE that could be backstage at Raw.
That's different. If they're not part of, that's a little
right.
different.
But still, they were a former WWE celebrity in general, and they're backstage. What they're doing is they're not making themselves known that they're there. They're not showcasing themselves.
Well, I felt like Punk really wanted to make himself known, dude. You know what I mean? Which is also a bit, I don't know. Anyway, the point is, there's a lot of shit going on. I don't know what Punk's mindset was in terms of, you know, WWE and AEW, but it seems that Punk does want to go back to WWE. And don't get me wrong, I sort of watched, remember the Vince McMahon interview with Stone Cold on the Stone Cold podcast? And Stone Cold point blank asked Vince if he would accept CM Punk back in WWE. Vince McMahon said yes, he wants to work with him once again in the future and apologize for firing him on his wedding day. Now, that's pretty telling to me.
Well, good and happy for him. He should have no reason why he would not want to work and do business. If they could work something out, let's say almost long term, do something on a slow build with him coming back, little vignettes, little digs here and there, anything that'll create money, fuck it, let him come in. They'd be stupid not to with what's all going on right now.
I know. I agree. Controversy creates cash, as Eric Bischoff would say. Chris Willen says AEW doesn't absolutely nothing to garner casual fans. My wife even used to like the Jericho and his bubbly stuff. The bubbly, a little bit of the bubbly. Even bought a couple of bottles. Interesting. Now it's straight crap. He's fat. Booking is horrid. Can't watch. I don't think he's that fat right now, Chris. He's actually got abs again, but he's on and off with his weight. Apparently
he doesn't look that bad. He doesn't look
right
that
now.
bad.
He's cool. Right now he looks pretty good, actually.
I'm the Pillsbury fucking doughboy next to him.
Yeah, me too. But no shit, man. He can just lose weight at a click of his finger, man. Like he'll gain weight quick, but lose it quick too, which trips me out, man. At how quick he can lose it. But
lay off the alcohol and you can do it.
A little bit of the bubbly. Yeah, it's true. But like Chris says, though, look, to answer Chris's thing about the casual fans, they're not catering to casual fans. They never have, Chris. You know what I mean? They're just catering to the marks, and that's it, bro. So how are they supposed to get any fucking new fans when they don't even cater to that? But anyway, it is what it is. In our final two news bits, though, Mikey, because we've gone over an hour, LA Knight has signed a new long-term contract, 5-year contract, Mike.
Good.
Yeah, hopefully that means, and apparently it's a fat contract too, dude. And his contract wasn't due for another year, but WWE wanted to step him up. Apparently up to $5 million, bro. 5 years.
That's not bad, man. Not at all.
That's good. That's great for LA Knight. Come on.
Oh shit! I forgot to turn it on.
Yeah, the only reason why I'm staying off camera for now is because my internet's still a bit funny.
Well, I want to take my night supplements and stuff, and I didn't want all advertised that I take on a webcam.
Well, now you just said it, Mikey.
I didn't say exactly what I take.
Anyway, like I said, LA Knight has signed a new 5-year deal. Good for him. Good for WWE. Hopefully they push him to the moon.
And I don't want to hear any stupid fucking shit. Oh, well, he didn't win this title. He win that. Who gives a fuck what title he's going to win? He's signing a 5-year deal for near $5 million, and it could be more, depending on merch deals or anything else. Right. I don't want to hear any stupid shit. He didn't win this belt, that belt. Who fucking cares? The guy's in WWE finally. He's enjoying himself. He's living his own dream that he wanted to do, supposedly.
Absolutely.
I guess he said. He's raking in cash.
Absolutely. And I don't care what anyone says, right? It doesn't matter who you support, if it's AEW, if it's WWE. WWE is the friggin' pinnacle of professional wrestling. Plain and simple right now, right?
Well, that's where it is, and that's where people go to try to make the most money. I'm not knocking AEW on what their pay scale is, because there's some getting paid very, very handsomely
100%,
for
bro.
how long that they are wrestling for every year, how many times. But those are different structured deals. When you're in WWE, it's very, how do I say it? It's a very elaborate contract. There's lots of things involved. You got your guarantee, you got your downside guarantee, you got how much money you're going to make from merch, supposedly, and you got your regular contract. And then you got what? You got your appearance fees if you're on any pay-per-views or whatnot, too.
And WWE Network fucking shit that they play. You also
the network, they don't, from what I don't know, but
no, you're right. I know what you're going to say, and you're totally right. They get peanuts these days compared to what they used to get.
Peanuts from the fucking network.
Put it this way. I know a wrestler that used to get paid thousands, right? At first, pay-per-view buy rates, right? Now, just from the WWE Network, it's only fucking hundreds.
Dude, yes, and they killed themselves because they used to advertise pay-per-view all the time where they can make $6, $7, $9, $10 fucking million a shot extra from there, to then begging everybody to pay $10 a fucking month for their network. And you see that went sour 3 fucking years later, that you can only see the actual network itself out of the United States.
Yeah, that's true, which is even more weird. Like I said, we've got the network on my cable fucking on my cable provider, bro. Like legit,
Right.
like as a channel that shows Raw, SmackDown live as well. On top of that, as well as Fox 8, which is what shows Raw and SmackDown here.
Yes,
live.
and you'll probably get the old 24/7 shows too.
Yeah, everything, bro.
Yeah, that's
And
what
it's
we
the
used
best
to
thing
have
that
here.
I don't understand why. Yeah, but this is like we've always had the network, but never on the actual cable provider where you know on your satellite box, which is fucking cool.
Yes, and thank your provider for that because you'll get their 24/7 regular feed. Now, as far as all the extras like watching ECW or
no, you can watch
Rocket,
all that still. It's all on demand as well.
That's right. Bingo.
Yeah. So you've got the live channel on cable, but you as an actual channel, but you've also got the on-demand stuff too.
Right.
So yeah, no, that's the best thing. I don't know how much they paid, because my cable provider is called Foxtel. It's Fox. It's literally legitly Fox. It's funny because WWE in Australia has always been on Fox, like for years, forever.
And a lot of the ways you could see, like regular Monday Night Raw or SmackDown,
right?
In the UK, believe it or not, is through Turner Sports.
Yeah, that's fucking weird too. Isn't that fucking weird?
Yep. Well,
it makes sense in Australia why it's on Fox, because Fox and WWE, right? But anyway, it's always been on Fox though here though, even long before they made any deals with Fox.
But isn't it weird how Turner Sports will show you WWE in the UK? It's
that's bizarre, bro.
It's like they took over Sky Sports.
Well, no, Sky Sports is still around, and Sky Sports is owned by the same people that own Fox, as in Rupert Murdoch, who's an Australian guy, funny enough.
But I'm talking as far as showing the WWE.
Right, yeah, that's bizarre, bro. I don't know how that would sit well with AEW also. I mean, there was rumors that, you know, that TNT and Turner in general are interested in maybe acquiring Raw and SmackDown. What would happen if that was to happen? Imagine that.
Well, I would tell them don't get your hopes up too high.
Right, but if they were to do that, that wouldn't sit well with AEW, surely.
But honestly, what can they do or say? What could Tony Khan possibly do or say? Oh no, I don't like that.
Todd Brantley, the Comic King's in the house. What up, y'all?
How you doing, Todd?
How you doing? But he also says, I hope you're doing well. I'm actually working at a local show, but take care and I'll catch up with you guys soon. No problem. Thank you for just saying hi.
Knock him dead, Todd. Go get him.
Yeah. Go get him, pal.
Hit him over the head with fucking Mike Hammer.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, yeah, that's interesting, dude. That's very interesting. You know what, Mikey? Let's take it home, bro. I know it was a lot of AEW, but that was the big buzz. You know what I mean? I just said the relevant shit. And,
no, that's fine. And it's good you left LA Knight for last, because a lot of people just look at it as, oh, it's a guy that's there. He's not winning a belt. Dude, the guy's winning at fucking life. Just about like everybody else there.
It's not always about the championship sometimes, man. You know what I mean? But I'm sure he wants it. Don't get me wrong. But it's not always about championships. The guy's he's killing life, man. He's making millions.
Right.
He's in the best company in professional wrestling. It is what it is. Hate him or love him, WWE is where everybody wants to get at, all right? Even AEW wrestlers, except for the ones that are fucking paranoid about fucking... Like Kenny and all that. I love Kenny, but they got no balls, man. They got to have balls.
Kenny was already kicked out of basically WWE's development.
No, well, he left. He left technically. But yeah, I know that. But doesn't matter. They still wanted him, though.
Oh, yeah, and he turned it down. So that's on him.
That's on him. And it's a shame because I don't see him going to WWE after fucking his AEW contract runs out, because by that point, he'll be in his mid-40s.
And see, now you see why we're lucky for AEW to be around, because it's an alternative for people to go. You know,
hey, man, I don't want AEW to die. You know what I mean? I love the fact that we got this. Right.
I don't either, because it gives people a place to work. But when people are going to complain about their own pay and how many times they're wrestling, well, you want it to be there.
Right, absolutely. And you can use them as leverage, too, to get a bigger, fatter contract with either company. But anyway, Mikey, tell them where they can find you, my friend.
here on the PWC Network whenever my time is acquired.
Hey, man, I did say that you'll be on at least once a week, bro, for sure. Could be even more.
Here I am.
Here you are, and I'm happy to have you, bro. We're happy to have you here at the PWC Network.
Thank you very much. I'm happy as well.
Absolutely, bro. It's a pleasure to have you on board with the PWC, and we're still going strong, man. So you're not going to plug any socials?
Really don't have. I mean, all right, Wrestle Mojo over Twitter. I guess you can watch that at your own risk. I'm really not that active on it. I don't give a lot of wrestling takes. I stay to myself. But if you want to drop a high, that is fine.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can at DJ Mass Effects, and also you can follow us at the PWC Network. Please like and subscribe right here at the PWCNetwork.podbean.com, where you can find all our shows.
Please, and please go watch previous live videos. Soon, Jimmy will be putting up other actual shows of the PWC in the actual video section on YouTube soon as he can, so you can watch a decent back catalog if you want to see any of the previous videos or hosts. But there are bigger things to come within time.
For sure, man. And also they're on the Podbean at the PWCNetwork.podbean.com, where you can find all our older videos and stuff like that. I haven't put every episode on our Podbean network because we were previously on the Rational Rage network, and that's going to take a lot of time putting all our previous stuff. But a lot of it is there, but not all of it, which is a shame. But I will eventually get to that. But like I said, the PWCNetwork.podbean.com for the downloads. Our YouTube channel, just type the PWC Network and you'll come up straight away. The Twitch, same thing, PWC Network. Just everywhere, type the PWC Network and we'll come up. Also, like and subscribe at channelattitude.com, where for $5 you get the best talk in all of pro wrestling, including, not just me, doing Uncaged, which is uncensored, unhinged, it's uncaged, and we're going live tonight on Hamin Media Group YouTube, where me and the Professor Chabela Vera Cruz will be covering Rampage and everything else, involving AEW. Also, HaminMediaGroup.podbean.com, where you can find all our affiliate shows. But like I said, tune in tonight for Uncaged at 11:05, as a matter of fact, right after Rampage goes off the air. Me and the Professor will be covering things. Also, look out for the Smack Attack tomorrow morning with myself, Chris Sams, and John Enright. And then the day after, on Sunday morning, right after Collision, we're going to sift through the wreckage, where Chris and myself, and maybe the vet always likes joining us on the wreckage most weeks, where we will sift through the wreckage. So in saying that, I am Jimmy T. That is Mikey Media M5, and you've been listening and watching the PWC Extra, and we're out. I
left some good wreckage in my pants earlier.
Oh shit, too much information. So we're out of here. See yous.
Running wild, my tongue gets tied, and that's no sweat no more. And if you cry out, I'm gonna push it some more. A la 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 long, a la 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 long, long. Ooh yeah. A la 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 long, a la 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 long, long. One more time. A la 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 long, a la 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 long, long. Sing it. A la 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 long, a la 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 long, long. Yeah. Woo, 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 wee. Yeah. I'm looking in your big brown eyes. Ooh, yeah. And I've got this to say to you. Yeah. Girl, I want to make you sweat. Sweat till you can't sweat no more. And if you cry out, I'm gonna push it some more. Girl, I want to make you sweat. Sweat till you can't sweat no more. And if you cry out, I'm gonna push it some more. A la 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 long, a la 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 long. Yeah. A la 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 long, a la 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 long. Push it some more. A la 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 long, a la 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 long. All right. A la 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 long.
The PWC Network. What the world is watching and listening to.
Hello, yes, Danhausen here. With a wonderful gift to Billy Ass and the Ass Boys. Danhausen, great strong friend, Billy Ass. And a gift for his wonderful Ass Boys, a new entrance theme song. So that way they can embrace the ass and enter to the proper musics. Danhausen has hired musical professionals to do such a thing. Danhausen wrote the lyrics himself. So enjoy.
We're the Ass Boys. We're the Ass Boys. Billy Ass and the Ass Boys. We're the Ass Boys. Billy Ass and the Ass Boys. It's our last name. We were born with them. We did not choose her. We won't shove them. We will not pick them. Thank you, Danhausen. Who were we fooling? No double dealing. We are not swearing. So many asses. One family tree. We can prove it with a 23 and me. We're the Ass Boys. Billy Ass and the Ass Boys. We're the Ass Boys. Billy Ass and the Ass Boys. We're not swearing. Our grandpa changed it at Ellis Island. It used to be hindquarters. Now we're just Ass Boys. We are the Ass Boys. We're not your boy toys. One day we'll be Ass Men. Still won't be swearing. Our name is Ass. We are set free. There's enough to go around for you and me. We're the Ass Boys. Billy Ass and the Ass Boys. We're the Ass Boys. Billy Ass and the Ass Boys. It's our last name. You can swear when you're on TV. It's a real life
Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, subscribe. Come on, man, you know, it's YouTube. I shouldn't have to tell you to do this anymore. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. The best way to find our newest videos is by going to 2minutestolatenight.com. There you'll find links to cover songs, CD reviews, podcasts, live streams, t-shirts, and more! That link will also take you to our Patreon, where you can sign up and help us make all the crap that has our little logo on it. It's the best way to support me and everyone involved with the show, including the musicians we forced to play cover songs with us. Or you can make a one-time donation if you have commitment issues. Don't worry, so do I. Patreon patrons get all sorts of neat garbage like shirts, exclusive sketches, roast videos, hell, I'll even take your favorite song and make it about spaghetti. But one-time donors get to feel like those fancy people who give money to museums and never tell anyone. We'd also like to give a shout out to Dunnable Guitars for making the coolest riff sticks in the metal game right now. Look at this thing, it looks like a coffee table from Ethan Allen that was purchased by Satan herself. And also a special thanks to Sound City and Fryette Amplification for giving us amplification.
It's 2 minutes to late night!
The PWC Network. What the world is watching and listening to.